Hey, this is Sam with a 3,000 point battle line against a high elf opponent. Right before the new high elf book came out, my opponent invited me to play a game at his home table to have kind of a send off for the old high elf book, and decided to bring out my Tomb Kings. So I threw together a list based on models I had available. It's not the best list probably, but at least everything I have is pretty much painted and completed besides the basing. So just want to give them a shot and see what they could do. So I'm going to try to post a couple reports for the Tomb Kings and then come back later and analyze each unit to see what I think, see what I like. So on my far right, I've got a unit of Fast Cav, 6 Ushabti with great weapons, a Colossus with additional hand weapon, Screaming Skull Catapult, proxied by the old school one there. 10 Bowmen with a level 2 of Light and 5 more Fast Cav. More towards the center, I've got a War Sphinx with a Breath Weapon, another Catapult, 20 more Bowmen with 2 level 2s of Light, so I got a Strength 6 Banishment. I have 4 Necropolis Knights, Standard and Musician, 20 more Bowmen, Standard Musician, level 4 of Nakara with 4 up Ward and Dispel Scroll. Got a Hero Titan, a Casket, and 10 more Bowmen. And on my far left, I've got a unit of 4 Chariots, Standard and Musician. And I have 2 Scorpions that are entombed. So this was taken actually after High Elf turn 1 movement, so he moved his Eagle up there to block me. And so just looking at his left side, after his turn 1, he's got 3 Bolt Throwers, 10 Bowmen. Towards the center, 10 more Bowmen. Big unit of Spearmen with a BSB that had a great weapon and a 2-up rerollable. A level 4 on High Magic. He's got 20 or 25 White Lions with another combat hero on foot. He's got another Bolt Thrower in the tower, so he's got 4 total. A big unit of 14 Dragon Princes with his Lord, who had a great weapon, a 2-up rerollable, and a 4-up ward, and an Eagle there on the far right as well. So this is just a view after High Elf turn 1. Really nothing significant happened besides, I think his Bolt Throwers shot up some of my snakes and maybe killed one. So Tomb Kings turn 1, my Chariots charged the Eagle on the left who flees. I had a pretty good chance to catch him, but I rolled pretty terribly. And towards the center, just showing my movements. And my movements on the far right. So in my magic phase, I get off a banishment on the Dragon Princes and take down 3. I get buffed up smiting off, so that means both my 20-man archer units and my 10-man archer unit as well can shoot twice, which is very nice. Also in my magic phase, I throw Shem's Burning Gaze at the Spearmen and kill 5. And I also get Desiccation off on the Spears, so -1 strength and toughness. So now I have a ton of shots in the air, and these guys are -1 toughness for my shooting phase, which is pretty awesome. And going to my shooting phase, yeah, I just open up with, what is it, 80 bow shots and take down, I don't know, 15 or more Spearmen. So that unit got much less scary after shooting in Magic. I wasn't used to having such a powerful Magic phase after playing Bretonnia. It's kind of nice. See, also in my shooting phase, I just took 1 wound off this Eagle, unfortunately. So now he'll be able to rally and redirect my Chariots again. And let's see, my Horse Archers pick off the Eagle on the far right, which is nice. So now I can win the Chaff battle to try to take out those Knights. And so with my Strength 6 Ushabti and Bone Giant, yeah, they're the units I want going into the Knights. And then I want the War Sphinx to get in with the Lions. Just a perfect matchup for the War Sphinx. And here's just an overview of the board after Tomb Kings turn 1. So going to High Elf's turn 2, he charges his Dragon Princes into my Fast Cav on the right side of the board. I'm not really sure why he did this. So if he beats him and reforms, or if he overruns, it's favorable for me. And he actually had the banner of ignore dangerous terrain test, so he could have charged the front of my Ushabti and probably just absolutely crushed him with his strength 5 rerollable hit. And actually looking at it now, it sort of looks like if he had aligned to the left a little bit more, he might have clipped my Ushabti and overran into their flank. But anyways, hindsight's 20/20, right? So that's what he did. And let's see, moved his lines forward here. Moved his spearmen towards this ruin. So we're counting as a ruin, but if you're next to it, it counts as an obstacle. So he moved his spearmen up. He took his level 4 out of that unit into a bowman unit in the back. Let's see, his eagle rallied. His magic phase, he got the old Flames of the Phoenix off on my Necropolis Knights. And took down one of them, put another wound on another. Shooting phase, took down a chariot with his bolt throwers. And after close combat, so he crushed my my fast cav and overran off the board. So on Tomb King's turn 2, I faced my Ushabti and Bone Giant towards the edge of the board, so I can easily countercharge the princes when they come back on. Redirect the white lines to set up an easy charge for my War Sphinx. So another view of the center. And over here, I moved my Necropolis Knights up behind the wall. I don't remember why I did this. I'm pretty much just sacrificing at this point. So I really should have moved them as far as I could to try to make the overrun longer when the spears charge. And on the left, I just moved my chariots as far forward as possible. I did that just because it was going to be a long charge and he could have just fled and left me out there to dry. So I moved closer so that when I do charge, my overrun will take me closer to the bolt throwers. And on my turn 2, both my Scorpions come on the board as well, which was great. And then my opponent reminded me that they move like they came on as reinforcements, so I get to make an additional move and reposition one of my Scorpions to threaten these bolt throwers. So High Elf's turn 3, he charges his Spearmen into my Necropolis Knights. I know I'm going to lose this, but I'm just going to try to get lucky and killing blow his BSB. Lions going to my Fast Cav on the right. And in his remaining moves, his General's unit comes back on the board and takes a wide formation for damage. He knew he wasn't likely to be steadfast, so he's going to try to hold just by doing wounds to me, which I think was a good move. And in his back line, he moves his level 4 from one archer unit to another. I'd weakened the other one, so he's just trying to maintain his lookout, sir. His magic phase, he puts Flames of the Phoenix on this archer unit with a level 2 with irresistible force, and kills about half the unit. And in doing so, he miscasts and blows up a bunch of his archers, so now he doesn't have a lookout sir there at all, and I'm able to target him with my catapult, which is nice. And after close combat, the spears crush the Necropolis Knights and overrun an inch away from my archer unit with my level 2. So on Tomb King's turn 3, take my chariots into the eagle on the left side of the board. At the top left, get a Scorpion into his bolt thrower. Both of them shot at my Scorpion on his previous turn, but they either missed or rolled a 1 to wound, so I was pretty lucky there. And my other Scorpion goes into another bolt thrower toward the center. So this is when bolt throwers are worth 100 points, so my 85 point Scorpions will earn their points back easily here. And I get my War Sphinx into the white line, so absolute perfect matchup for the War Sphinx. Expensive, elite, one-attack infantry. There's nothing better. They don't care about the strength 6 because, well, they still have to wound me on a 6 anyways with toughness 8. So that's a excellent matchup. And I get my Ushabti and Bone Giant in against the Dragon Princes, so I've got a lot of strength 6 to chop through his armor. And so, yeah, a lot of action going on Tomb King's turn 3, and I really have the exact matchups I want all across the board. Let's see, in my remaining moves here, I don't charge the Spears with my Hero Titan. I know his Hero is Strength 6, so I don't think my Hero Titan will be able to do anything with his Toughness 6 and all that static combat res. So instead, I back up my Bowman unit with my level 2, the one with the blue chip there, and I park my Hero Titan in front of him. I'm just trying to save time so I can pump more shots into the Spearman unit and just waste the time of this unit so they can't get into my Hierophant's unit, which is the Archer unit on the right. I think I actually misspoke when I talked through deployment, but yeah, the Bowman unit on the left houses the level 2, and the unit on the right houses the level 4 and another level 2. And here's just an overview shot of Tomb King's turn 3. So in my shooting phase, I get rid of the archers protecting the level 4. I targeted my catapult at the level 4, but it scattered. I picked off more of these spearmen, so they're below half strength. After close combat, I charged the eagle and I overran with my chariots after I crushed it, which was a huge mistake. I should have just reformed and phased towards the center of the board to help out with the spears. Also at the top, my scorpion killed one of the bolt throwers, reformed. My center scorpion killed its bolt thrower and reformed as well. And the War Sphinx kills 19 white lions. Yeah, that was outstanding. Popped my breath weapon. I think it rolled an 11 or something. Did well on my thunder stomps, my attacks. It was awesome. So he would have been on double ones with his hero, but he still had one white lion standing. And he made his leadership 8. But I'm confident that I'll clean that unit up next round quite easily. And in the combat with his generals unit, yeah. So my Ushabti and Bone Giant pretty much ripped these guys. I mean, he started this game with 13 Dragon Princes, and now he's down to a champion and 1 rank and file. So shouldn't be a problem to get the points for his unit next time. Actually, something important I forgot to mention is that on his turn 1, his general's unit was by a Sphinx, like magical monument, and pretty much you got to take an initiative test, and if you passed it, you got a number of buffs. And the one he got was Heroic Killing Blow. So I was pretty nervous because of that, but he didn't get it off this turn, which was great. But he still has the potential to really pop my unit if he gets a couple of Heroic Killing Blows. So on High Elf's turn 4, he takes his Spearman into my Hero Titan. Forgot to mention it, but on Tomb King's turn 3, his Flames of the Phoenix killed my level 2 of Light and almost killed my Bowman unit. But if I forget to mention it, I dispelled that on High Elf's turn 4. Let's see, he picks off a few Bowmen from my Hero Titan's unit with his Bolt Thrower. And after close combat here, so I think his general got 1 Heroic Killing Blow. I split my attacks between his champion and his remaining rank and file, but I only killed 1 of them, which was pretty disappointing. Really need to clean that guy up. It turns out the whole Dragon Prince unit is worth the same amount of points as my Ushabti and Bone Giant, so I need to at least make the trade, because I don't want to give this general too much time for Heroic Killing Blow, especially with his rerolls to hit. And let's see, towards the center, my War Sphinx easily cleans up the white lions and faces towards the center. And the spears kill my Hero Titan and decide to reform and not overrun, which I was happy with. So on Tomb King's turn 4, take a Scorpion into another Bolt Thrower, fail a Swift Reform with my Chariots, charge my other Scorpion into his Bowman unit housing his level 4, and they flee. Park my 2 remaining Bowmen in front of his Spearman unit, and in my shooting phase, just pump everything into that unit once again. And yeah, he's really down to nothing. But all that shooting and magic I put in is nothing unless I can get my Sphinx over in time to get these points. So also my shooting phase, I target his level 4 and crush him with a stone. And now he has just 1 archer left in that unit. So that was a big points pickup. And here's how things are looking on Tomb King's 4. So yeah, I moved my War Sphinx as far forward as possible so that I could hopefully get a future charge on the spears. And in the close combat phase, yeah, I managed to get the points for the Dragon Prince unit, but his general was just too much with his strength 6 and heroic killing blow. It's really hard to get wounds on this guy too. It's 2 up rerollable and 4 up ward. He's just tough as nails. So I made a decent trade. So at least maybe it's possible one of my catapults can land a shot on him. So on High Elf's turn 5, he takes his general into my catapult. His spears go into my remaining Bowman unit, and he ends up making the overrun into the casket. So this is how the board looked at the beginning of Tomb King's turn 5. I failed to charge with my War Sphinx into the Spearman, but I managed to kill his general with a banishment, and that's when he conceded the game. So get a good victory for the Tomb Kings and send the old High Elves packing permanently. So I don't really like too many components of my list, besides maybe the 2 catapults, the casket, the Hero Titan, the 3 level 2s of light, and the level 4 of Nakara. So I wanted to try to experiment with a list that has magic phase flexibility. So with my 3 level 2s of light, I could take Shem's Burning Gaze on all of them, and I could have a banishment in there. And during the first 1 to 3 turns of the game, I could be putting out a lot of Shems, a lot of banishment. Could be 2-dicing the casket, and you know, with the Hero Titan adding the D3 to each cast, it would really support the magic phase in doing that. And then when I hit the mid game to late game, I could shift to buffing my combat units with like Speed of Light, Time Warp, the 5-up ward, extra attacks from Nakara, and really create that flexibility in all phases of the game, which is kind of cool because I didn't really get to experiment with anything like that with Bretonnia, which has a really kind of simple and boring magic phase. So it's interesting, happened to work in this case, but yeah, I still have lots of experiments to do and lots of lists to play. Definitely a big change, really a complete opposite from Bretonnia. Go from the fastest army to the slowest, and really need to be more defensive minded instead of the attacking mentality that I have when I play Bretonnia. So post a few more reports soon. Thanks for watching.